जी हाँ, आज के मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में यहाँ उपस्थित हैं विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी राज्य मंत्री माननीय डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह।
We are about 31 minutes from the scheduled launch time. You're watching this live from the Mission Control Center. Apart from Doordarshan, you can also watch the launch event on ISRO website, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
की खोज भी शामिल है। फिर 29 अगस्त 2009 में चंद्रयान 1 से हमारा संपर्क किसी कारणवश टूट गया, लेकिन इसमें मील के पत्थर ने चंद्रयान 2 का मार्ग प्रशस्त किया था। चंद्रयान 2, जिसमें ऑर्बिटर के साथ चंद्रमा की सतह पर उतरने के लिए लैंडर और आसपास के क्षेत्र का विश्लेषण करने के लिए रोवर की अभिकल्पना की गई थी। चंद्रयान 2 को जुलाई 2019 को भेजा गया था। इसमें ऑर्बिटर ने भली भांति अपना मिशन पूरा किया, लेकिन लैंडर मॉड्यूल चंद्रमा की सतह पर सुरक्षित उतरने में असफल रहा था। इसके पश्चात गहन अध्ययन और उन्नत तकनीक से परिपूर्ण सभी परीक्षणों और सिमुलेशन के पश्चात तैयार है सुदृढ़ चंद्रयान 3। आपको संक्षिप्त में LVM3-M4 प्रमोचक यान की जानकारी देते हैं। LVM3 प्रमोचक यान अन्य सभी यानों की तुलना में सबसे अधिक विकसित तथा उन्नत अभिकल्पित किया गया है। इसकी ऊंचाई 43.5 मीटर तथा व्यास 4 मीटर का होता है। इसका कुल उत्थापन भार 640 टन का होता है। 3 चरणीय यान है, जिसकी क्षमता 4 टन के नितभार को भूतुल्यकाली अंतरण कक्षा में यानी 180 बाई 36,000 किलोमीटर में ले जाने की क्षमता है तथा 8 टन के नितभार को निम्न कक्षा में स्थापित करने की क्षमता है। इस यान में प्रथम चरण में 2 S200 स्टेप-ऑन बूस्टर्स लगे होते हैं, जो कि ठोस नोदक पर आधारित चरण हैं, जिन्हें सतीश धवन अंतरिक्ष केंद्र में उन्नत और परिपक्व को उत्पादन प्रणाली द्वारा निर्मित किया जाता है। दोनों S200 के मध्य में L10 चरण है, जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, और इसके ऊपर की ओर 28 टन के क्रायोजेनिक ईंधन वाले C-20 इंजन का प्रयोग करते हुए C-25 चरण है, जो कि भारत का सबसे बड़ा क्रायोजेनिक इंजन है। इसे इसरो के
At an altitude of 71 kilometers, closed loop guidance is initiated for LVM3. Separation of payload fairing takes place at 195 seconds past the launch at an altitude of 115 kilometers. The core 110 stage, having completed its burn time of about 200 seconds, is separated from the ongoing rocket. This event takes place at 306 seconds into flight. At this point of time, the altitude will be 175 kilometers and the rocket would have acquired 4.2 kilometers per second relative velocity. Then the upper cryogenic stage, C-20 5 ignites 2 seconds later and continues to burn for close to 650 seconds. During the operational regime of C-25, the largest relative velocity addition takes place. It increases from 4.178 kilometers per second to 9.804 kilometers per second. And the most awaited moment of the Chandrayaan-3 separation is scheduled to take place at 969.7 seconds into the flight. The altitude will be 179.3 kilometers, which is a part of elliptical transfer orbit of 170 by 36,500 kilometers. From then on, the moon craft Chandrayaan-3 would commence its journey to the moon.
इस मिशन का काउंटडाउन 25.5 घंटे पूर्व शुरू हो चुका है और इस दौरान रॉकेट अब आपके सामने प्रस्तुत है LVM3 का इंटीग्रेशन वीडियो.
We bring to you a small clipping of the integration video for the LVM3 rocket.
Minus 25 minutes.
On your TV screens, you are watching the visuals from second vehicle assembly building where the full LVM3-M4 rocket has been assembled. These are the strap-on boosters getting assembled segment by segment.
Roger.
Each S200 has got 3 segments
Roger.
called nozzle end segment, middle segment, and head end segment, to which the nozzle is assembled, and one after the other, the segments are joined together. When the fully assembled solid rocket booster is handled carefully with a crane and being lowered on to the mobile launch pedestal as an integrated rocket, the igniter assembly then takes place, and this is the strap-on nose cones. On your TV screens, it is the core L110 stage being brought to the second vehicle assembly building for tilting and assembly between the S200 boosters.
जी हाँ, अभी आपने देखा दोनों S200 स्टप-ऑन बूस्टर्स के साथ L110 को भी संलग्न कर दिया गया है और यह है क्रायोजेनिक अपर स्टेज. CH-25 कहा जाता है इसे। बहुत ही जटिल इंजन है ये C-20 इंजन। बहुत ही सावधानी पूर्वक पेलोड एडेप्टर, अंतरिक्ष यान और पेलोड फेयरिंग, इन सभी के समुच्चय को एनकैप्सुलेटेड असेंबली कहते हैं। अब इसे व्हीकल असेंबली बिल्डिंग लाया जा रहा है और क्रेन की मदद से इसे क्रायो स्टेज के ऊपर संयोजित किया जा रहा है। अब पूर्णतः तैयार LVM3-M4 रॉकेट व्हीकल असेंबली बिल्डिंग से निकलकर लॉन्च पैड की ओर जा रहा है। इसे मोबाइल लॉन्च पेडेस्ट्रियल पर रखकर करीब 1 किलोमीटर की दूरी तय की जाती है।
Channel 2.
Roger, Roger.
RSO to ROD, range safety systems are ready.
ROD, Roger.
CNC to TTC
अब इसे सावधानी पूर्वक लॉन्च पैड ले आया गया है। और बाकी की स्वास्थ्य जांच यहाँ से पूरी की
All
जाएंगी।
stations to note, event number 430 and 431 is completed. Chandrayaan 3
पूर्ण संयोजित और तैयार LVM3-M4 रॉकेट आगे की जांच तथा तरल नोदक का भराव यहाँ संपन्न किया जाता है।
are normal. L110 stage is clear for LVM3-M4
The
Chandrayaan.
LVM4 rocket standing majestically against a picturesque background in the second launch pad. LVM-3 rocket will fly for the 7th launch today. 43.5 meters tall and 642 tons heavy launch vehicle has been operationalized after an experimental and 2 developmental missions. Mission executives on your screen, that's the spacecraft director,
Control to note, event number
and
430.
associate spacecraft director.
इस लॉन्च के लिए ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू करने का अनुमोदन दे दिया है। इसके पश्चात व्हीकल डायरेक्टर ALS ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू करेंगे।
On your screens, you have just watched Mission Director Shri Mohan Kumar giving clearance for the initiation of automatic launch sequence. This is based on the confirmation of readiness of all participating team for range, launch vehicles, spacecraft, and tracking. The automatic launch sequence is scheduled to begin at T-14 minutes 30 seconds, as a part of which the most critical control system elements are checked for the launch vehicle.
Minus 17 minutes.
Timing
Very
to
close to the
timing
launch
platform
time,
section and
control
hold mode.
will be passed on to the onboard
Roger.
computers.
VLCC to LCC note to note. Timing
व्यूअर्स
confirmed,
गैलरी दर्शकों
Excel
से
full
खचाखच भरी हुई।
VLCC Roger.
बहुत भारी संख्या में यहाँ लोग उपस्थित हुए हैं। आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है सतीश धवन अंतरिक्ष केंद्र में।
Enthusiastic viewers from all across the country gathering at Satish Dhawan Space Center Launch View Gallery for witnessing this historic moment
Data
of
loggers are
Chandrayaan
on at
3
Sharon and
launch.
Shatu stations. Copied.
The countdown for LVM3-M4 Chandrayaan 3 mission has lasted for 25 and a half hours. It was commenced on 1:30 p.m. yesterday.
While of operation of hydrogen tank.
During countdown, the launch vehicle
Minus
stages are
16 minutes.
serviced with propellants.
Vehicle director to
Gas
ALS
bottles
console.
meant for stage
Vehicle
operations are
director
charged.
authorizes
While the Earth
automatic launch
storable
sequence
propellant
for the
filling was
LVM3
concluded
M4
more than
Chandrayaan 3
16
mission.
hours ago,
ALS
the cryogenic propellants
SDA servers activated. MC confirms data from Sharvan
अभी
and
अभी
Shartu.
कंफर्म किया गया है। व्हीकल डायरेक्टर श्री बीजूसी थॉमस ने ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू कर दिया है। अब यह लॉन्च व्हीकल LVM3-M4 रॉकेट ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस के अंतर्गत है।
Automatic launch
इसका
sequence
मतलब ऑन
initiated
बोर्ड
for
कंप्यूटर
LVM3-M4
पूरी
launch.
तरह स्वचालित हो चुका है।
ALS in auto mode.
we are very close to the launch. And the day of launch, wind biasing data is fed during the countdown to the onboard computers to enable most suitable steering of the launch vehicle through atmosphere. Up next, we will watch a curtain raiser video on this
Event
mission.
number 465. Request CGSS to confirm supply of GN2 to Cryo.
Moon. This familiar object in the night sky has inspired the imagination of astronomers and ordinary people alike. From time immemorial, humans have marveled at the beauty of the moon, used it to count time and navigate the high seas. In modern times, Moon, the only natural satellite of the Earth, has acquired added importance due to the belief that Moon is the key to our understanding of the evolution of the solar system in general and Earth in particular.
14 minutes.
Besides, Moon's precious resources and low gravity have further endeared it to humans. India, a major spacefaring nation, has conducted a detailed exploration of the Moon through its Chandrayaan program. The country has sent 2 robotic spacecraft to orbit the Moon and to take a repeated look at its surface. Chandrayaan-1 demonstrated India's ability to reach the surface of the Moon at a place and time of its choice. And with it, India became the 4th country to reach the surface of the Moon in November 2008. Besides, Chandrayaan-1's conclusive discovery of water on the Moon in 2009 was praised as a path-breaking discovery. The follow-on mission, Chandrayaan-2, had an orbiter, a lander called Vikram, and a rover named Pragyan. In the past 4 years, the orbiter has repeatedly observed the lunar surface and even today is working satisfactorily. Now, 3,900 kilograms Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is being sent to the Moon with the objective of making yet another focused attempt to slowly land on the lunar surface and to explore it with the help of a rover. Following the spacecraft launched by India's most capable rocket LVM-3, the Chandrayaan-3 lander carrying a rover within it will be carried into an orbit around the Moon by the propulsion module. A little later, the lander will separate from that module and will attempt to make a soft landing in the south polar region of the
Minus 12
Moon.
minutes.
This region is of intense interest as it has many permanently shadowed craters which could contain water ice and precious minerals. Chandrayaan-3 lander has
325
4
return
scientific
evacuation
instruments
completed.
or payloads, of which one will study the moon quakes, while the other one studies as to how the surface of the moon allows heat to flow through it. The third one will study the plasma environment near the moon's surface.
Correction of H-tank in
And the
progress.
fourth instrument will enable scientists to measure the distance between the Earth and Moon very accurately.
S200
The two
redundancy
instruments on the
evacuation in
rover help us study the composition of the Moon's surface using X-rays and laser respectively. While the lander and rover will be in direct contact with each other. The propulsion module circling the Moon will observe the light coming from Earth, the only planet which we know which is definitely teeming with life. This observation will help in understanding the nature of distant
S200
planets
redundancy
circling
complete.
stars other than the Sun. As Chandrayaan-3 undergoes important tests and gears up for launch, thousands of ISRO scientists, including those who will launch it, control it and receive the precious scientific information from it using giant dish antennas, are readying themselves for the challenging tasks ahead. In the past, their dedication and skill have enabled India to earn praise from across the world
L110 prime
and
chain
made it
evacuation in
proud.
progress.
Let us wish them well in this great endeavor called Chandrayaan-3.
10 minutes.
आपके सामने हैं इसरो के अध्यक्ष श्री एस सोमनाथ। अभी अभी आपने देखा एक संक्षिप्त वीडियो जिसमें एनिमेशन की मदद से इस पूरे मिशन की यात्रा को बताया गया है, इस मिशन के ऑब्जेक्टिव को समझाया गया।
H-tank level correction completed.
Chandrayaan
L110 prime
3
chain evacuation
has two
completed.
predecessors with destination Moon as their mission objective. Chandrayaan 1, launched by PSLV C-11 in October
T25 prime
2008,
chain evacuation in progress.
included lunar orbiter and impactor. During the mission life of around 10 months, Chandrayaan 1 had mapped the minerals on lunar surface, acquired 70,000 images to help
Minus 9
create
minutes.
3D atlas of Moon, and what's more, found water on Moon's polar regions. Chandrayaan 2, launched by LVM3-M1 on 22nd of July 2019, consisted of lunar orbiter, lander named Vikram, and rover named Pragyan. The orbiter is still providing insightful scientific information through its payloads like spectrometers, synthetic aperture radar, and cameras.
चंद्रयान 3 की चंद्रमा की सतह में उतरने के इस मिशन को कुल 10 चरणों में पूरा किया जाएगा। संक्षेप में यह इस प्रकार है। सर्वप्रथम चंद्रयान 3 को LVM3 प्रमोचक रॉकेट द्वारा पृथ्वी की
T25 prime chain
एलिप्टिकल
evacuation
टारगेट
completed.
ऑर्बिट, जो कि 170 बाई 36,500 किलोमीटर की ऑर्बिट है, उसमें प्रमोचित किया जाएगा। वहां से चंद्रयान में
-8
मैन्यूवर
minutes.
कर पृथ्वी की गुरुत्वाकर्षण की सहायता से चंद्रयान की गति को वृद्धि की जाएगी। फिर चंद्रयान पृथ्वी की कक्षा से निकलकर चंद्रमा की कक्षा में जाएगा। चंद्रमा की कक्षा में जाते ही उसमें फिर से मैन्यूवर कर चंद्रमा की 100 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा।
S200 prime chain evacuation in progress.
फिर सही समय आने पर लैंडर मॉड्यूल को प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। यह आप अपनी स्क्रीन पर देख पा रहे हैं, यह है प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल। प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल का मुख्य उद्देश्य है लैंडर तथा रोवर को पृथ्वी की कक्षा से चंद्रमा की कक्षा में, जो कि 100 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा होगी, उसमें उचित अभिवृत्ति में लैंडर मॉड्यूल को अपने से पृथक कर चंद्रमा की सतह पर भेजना है। ऐसा करने के लिए इसमें MMH और मॉन का प्रयोग कर 440 न्यूटन के थ्रस्टर्स वाले इंजन्स लगे हुए हैं।
S200 prime chain evacuation completed.
-7
इसमें आवश्यक
minutes.
संचार सुविधाएं भी उपलब्ध हैं।
Speaking about the major milestones in the journey of Chandrayaan 3 to the moon, the spacecraft consists of propulsion module, lander and rover. Lander is planned to touch down at south pole of moon. The major 10 phases of the mission are: the first phase, called the Earth-centric phase, comprises of pre-launch, launch, ascent and earthbound maneuver. While the second phase is the lunar transfer phase, as the name suggests, the Chandrayaan spacecraft moves closer to the moon. Next 8 phases are in the moon orbit. The third being the lunar orbit insertion, followed by the moon-bound maneuvers phase,
Vehicle on
which mark
internal
the
power.
fourth phase. And next is, it is now that the propulsion module separates from the lunar module
6 minutes.
when 100 by 100 circular orbit of the moon is achieved. The Chandrayaan 3 in its sixth phase carries out D-boost
External power
from
withdrawn.
100 kilometers to 100 by 30 kilometers orbit, followed by the pre-landing phase as seventh phase, and then the most awaited
Flight
landing
coefficient
phase
loading started.
takes place.
Flight coefficient loading complete.
आपके सामने है मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष का दृश्य। सभी सेंटर डायरेक्टर्स अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं कि ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस किस तरह पूरा हो रहा है। दर्शक दीर्घा भी इस इंतज़ार पे। प्रमोशन से हम 5 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं।
-5 minutes.
Most of you might recall the Chandrayaan 2 mission
MC confirms radar
and the
data.
intense moments when all the enthusiastic Indians were waiting for the touchdown of the lander on the surface of moon. The launch view gallery with the overwhelming crowd of visitors.
पूरे दर्शक दीर्घा यहाँ बहुत उत्साहित। मौसम में थोड़ी परेशानी हो सकती है, लेकिन सब अपनी सुविधाओं के साथ में यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं।
We are close to 4 minutes from the scheduled launch time.
-4 minutes.
Gaining from the heritage of Chandrayaan 2, the Chandrayaan 3 is upgraded in several aspects for the enhanced robustness
Pyro
through
and wall
extensive
battery
ground
mode.
tests and simulation.
Onboard computer in flight mode.
ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस जारी है। इस दौरान सभी संचार तंत्रों की स्वास्थ्य जांच, बैटरी आवेशन पूर्ण किया जा चुका है। कुछ अंतिम गतिविधियां जैसे ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर पर रियल टाइम प्रोग्राम लोड करना, पायरो लाइन को आर्म मोड में लाना, गैस टैंक का अंतिम आवेशन, और यह सभी घटनाएं संतोषजनक तरीके से पूर्ण की जा रही हैं।
-3 minutes.
अब हम उड़ान से 3 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। प्रमोशन तथा इस प्रमोशन की घटनाक्रम को पहले ही बताया जा चुका है। सर्वप्रथम दोनों S200 स्ट्रप-ऑन बूस्टर प्रज्वलित किए जाएंगे T0 पर।
Pre-flight pressurization of the hydrogen tank commenced.
S200 के प्रज्वलन के 108 सेकंड के पश्चात L110 जो कि
-2 minutes.
तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू कर दिया जाएगा। L110 के प्रज्वलन के पश्चात करीब 137 सेकंड पर S200 बूस्टर्स को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
We are close to 1.5 minutes from the scheduled launch time.
सभी दर्शकों को ज्ञात है यह एक ऐतिहासिक मिशन होने वाला है। पूरे भारतवर्ष की आंखें इसमें हैं। इस यादगार पल के लिए यहाँ सब उपस्थित
-1 minute.
अब हम उड़ान से 1 मिनट की दूरी पर
-45 seconds. -50 seconds.
All sequences armed. Stage ready.
-45 seconds. -40 seconds.
L110 VHPP open. MOV 79
-33
open.
seconds. -30 seconds.
Real-time programs activated.
-25 seconds.
L110 VSPP open.
-20 seconds. -15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
Here we have a majestic liftoff of LVM3-M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft.
P2 tracking.
प्रज्वलन और सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन LVM3-M4 रॉकेट का। यह भीमकाय रॉकेट आसमान को चीरते हुए अपनी भयानक दहाड़ से चारों ओर कंपन उत्पन्न कर रहा है। इसे हम यहाँ महसूस कर सकते हैं और यही दहाड़ है जो वैज्ञानिकों को रोमांचित करती है। LVM3 के उत्थापन के साथ ही हमारे अंतरिक्ष यान चंद्रयान 3 की चंद्रमा की यात्रा प्रारंभ हो चुकी है।
As the rocket is soaring through the clear skies, every second moving closer to the accomplishment of the most important milestone in its mission to moon. Every Indian witnessing the launch live is content with the feeling of watching history in the making.
चंद्रमा की सतह पर अपना छाप छोड़ने के लिए चंद्रयान 3 अपने मिशन को पूरा करने निकल चुका है। वर्तमान में दोनों S200 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर सामान निष्पादन करते हुए अपनी निर्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं।
The S200 motors thrusting simultaneously, generating a peak thrust of close to 6,000 kilonewtons in vacuum. They are made of HTPB-based solid propellant, 204.5 tons in each strap-on, close to 2 tons of propellant being burnt each second.
S200 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर्स का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 126 सेकंड का है और अभी अभी घोषणा की गई L110 स्टेज का भी प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
Apart from the strap-ons, the core stage has also commenced its operation. This stage, based on combination
200 stages are separated.
of hypergolic earth storable liquid propellants UH25 and N2O4. Now the S200s have been separated.
घटनाक्रम के अनुसार यह यान इस यान से S200 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर्स को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है। यह काम सेपरेशन मोटर्स की मदद से किया जाता है। इसके बाद L110 तरल नोदक पर आधारित और विकास इंजन के साथ यह चरण सामान्य निष्पादन करता हुआ अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहा है। अभियान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत है।
L110 stage performance normal.
The trajectory of launch vehicle is closely following the prediction.
Payload fairing separated.
जी हाँ, पेलोड फेयरिंग को पृथक कर दिया गया है यान से, क्योंकि यान अब 114.8 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर चुका है। इस चरण का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 200 सेकेंड होता है और इस दौरान यह करीब 1600 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है।
We are 220 seconds past the launch time. Current altitude is 135 kilometers. In the 200 seconds of its operation, the L-110 stage carries the rocket up to 175.5 kilometers altitude and imparts a relative velocity of 4.18 kilometers per second. That is 250 kilometers every minute.
L110 stage performance normal.
LVM3-M4 रॉकेट का द्वितीय चरण पूर्णतः सामान्य निष्पादन करते हुए इस चरण में कुल 113 टन के तरल नोदक भरे जाते हैं। N2O4 तथा UH-25 अर्थ स्टोरेबल प्रोपेलेंट को ईंधन के रूप में प्रयोग किया जाता है इस चरण में।
Stage ignition is authorized.
अगला चरण C-25 का प्रज्वलन भावी है।
plus 5 minutes.
L110 stage thrust cut off and separated. To C-25 ignition command. 25 ignition confirmed.
That's a piece of really good news that the third stage has started its operation. The C-25 stage has been ignited.
जी हाँ, एक बहुत ही जटिल प्रक्रिया होती है क्रायो इंजन का इग्निशन, और इसके प्रज्वलन के साथ ही तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से गूंज उठा है मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष। तृतीय चरण C-25 वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है। पूर्णतः सामान्य, सभी तंत्र पूर्णतः सामान्य हैं।
118 kilonewtons thrust in vacuum is what the stage develops with its 28.6 tons propellant combination of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Present altitude
Stage
is close.
performance normal.
तृतीय और यह अंतिम चरण है इस यान का C-25। यह क्रायो ईंधन पर आधारित चरण है जिसमें लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन, लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन का इस्तेमाल होता है। इसमें कुल 28 टन का क्रायो ईंधन पूरी सुरक्षा तथा सावधानी के साथ भरा जाता है। इस चरण में 186 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न होता है और यह करीब 640 सेकंड तक प्रज्वलित रहेगा। इसमें दिशा नियंत्रण के लिए इंजन जिम्बल का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। क्रायो ईंधन का विशिष्ट आवेग 446 सेकंड के करीब होता है।
Currently, the rocket is at an altitude of 210 kilometers.
Plus 7 minutes.
While there is no much variation in altitude, this stage will add to the relative velocity immensely.
Cryo stage
आइए
performance
अब आपको
normal.
पेलोड के बारे में जानकारी देते हैं। लैंडर मॉड्यूल्स पे कई वैज्ञानिक प्रयोगों के लिए पेलोड्स लगाए गए हैं।
India's prestigious lunar landing spacecraft Chandrayaan-3 moving closer to its intended injection spot in the orbit. The propulsion module provides propulsion for earthbound maneuvers, translunar injection, and moonbound orbits. It also has a payload to study the spectral and polarimetric measurements of Earth and lunar orbit. The abbreviated name of the payload is SHAPE. Among the payloads of the lander module, the following are included. A landwehr probe called Rambha to measure the near-surface plasma density, that is the density of ions and electrons, and its changes with time. The second payload is Chandra's Surface Thermophysical Experiment or CHASTE to measure thermal properties of lunar surface near polar regions. To measure the seismicity around the landing site and delineating the structure of the lunar crust and mantle, payload ILSA is there. The rover, after its descent, will further the scientific study objectives through its own payloads. For better understanding of chemical and mineralogical composition of lunar surface, LIBS or laser-induced breakdown spectroscope is included. Another payload is the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer.
जी हाँ, लैंडर मॉड्यूल में 3 पेलोड हैं, रोवर में 2 और प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल में 1 पेलोड भेजा गया है। चंद्रयान 3 के स्वदेशी लैंडर और रोवर में नितभारों का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। यह अंतर्ग्रही मिशन के लिए भी आवश्यक तकनीकों का प्रदर्शन करेंगे। लैंडर के पास यह क्षमता है कि वह चंद्रमा की उबड़-खाबड़ सतह में भी बड़ी सावधानी से उतर सकेगा और रोवर को बाहर लाने के लिए और संचार सुविधाएं प्रदान करने के लिए सक्षम होगा। चंद्रयान 3 के लैंडर और रोवर में कुल 6 नितभार हैं। रेडियो एस्ट्रोनॉमी ऑफ मून बाउंड हाइपर सेंसिटिव आयनोस्फीयर एंड एटमॉस्फेयर, जिसे शॉर्ट में रंभा कहा जाता है, यह चंद्रमा की सतह के पास प्लाज्मा के घनत्व तथा समय के साथ बदलाव का मापन करेगा। इसके बाद चंद्र सरफेस थर्मोफिजिकल एक्सपेरिमेंट चंद्रमा के ध्रुवीय सतह के आसपास की थर्मल प्रॉपर्टीज का मापन करेगा। इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर ल्यूनर सिस्मिक एक्टिविटी लैंडिंग साइट के आसपास के क्षेत्र में भूकंप जैसी गतिविधियों का पता लगाएगा। रोवर में चंद्रमा की सतह के तत्वात्मक विश्लेषण के लिए लेजर इंड्यूस्ड ब्रेकडाउन स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोप और अल्फा पार्टिकल एक्सरे स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोप इसका इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। एक बहुत ही दिलचस्प वैज्ञानिक नितभार है शेप स्पेक्ट्रोपोलैरिमेट्री ऑफ हैबिटेबल प्लैनेट अर्थ, जो कि चंद्रमा से पृथ्वी से परावर्तित नियर इंफ्रारेड किरणों का विश्लेषण दूसरे जीवन सहायक ग्रहों को खोजने में मदद करेगा। वर्तमान में C-25 इंजन कार्यरत है और पूर्णतः सामान्य प्रदर्शन कर रहा है। अब हम प्रमोशन से 700 सेकंड की दूरी पर आ चुके हैं। सापेक्ष गति 6.5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड, ऊंचाई 191 किलोमीटर।
As we have told you about the Chandrayaan 3's upgrades in the aspects of enhanced robustness through extensive ground tests and simulation, during the last phase of landing, the module will have a vertical velocity of less than 1 meter per second and a horizontal velocity of less than 0.5 meters per second from a height of 3 meters. The lander legs are designed to be robust enough to thrive the impact. The cameras are tuned to take pictures ahead of the landing and enable intelligent decision making for choice of best location to land, avoiding craters and boulders on lunar surface. The successive pictures will also enable the craft to determine its horizontal and vertical velocity in real time. Laser Doppler velocity sensor is an upgrade in Chandrayaan 3 over its predecessor. It helps to determine instantaneous velocity of craft. Insights into the behavior of Chandrayaan 2 in the last few minutes of its descent has revealed to the scientists the necessity for upgrade in the guidance algorithm. Inputs from various sensors are used by the autonomous navigation guidance algorithm of Chandrayaan 3 to plan the flight path to the most suitable landing spot. The engines of Chandrayaan 3 are capable of more gradual throttling also.
वर्तमान में हम प्रमोशन से 817 सेकंड की दूरी पर आ चुके हैं। करीब 950 सेकंड पर तृतीय चरण क्रायोजेनिक इंजन को शट ऑफ कर दिया जाएगा और उचित अभिवृद्धि प्राप्त कर चंद्रयान 3 को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। चंद्रयान 3 को LVM3-M4 द्वारा एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट में लॉन्च करने के पश्चात 170 किलोमीटर की पेरिजी पर क्रमशः 5 बार मैन्यूवरिंग कमांड दिया जाएगा। 5वीं बार में यह पृथ्वी से चंद्रमा की ओर प्रस्थान करेगा, जिसे हम ल्यूनर ट्रांसफर ऑर्बिट के नाम से जानते हैं। फिर 5 अगस्त 2023 को यह चंद्रमा की कक्षा में प्रवेश करेगा और फिर क्रमशः 5 मैन्यूवरिंग के पश्चात प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल चंद्रमा की 100 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा में स्थापित हो जाएगा। यहाँ यह उचित समय और अभिवृद्धि में लैंडर मॉड्यूल को पृथक करेगा और 23 अक्टूबर 2023 को चंद्रमा की सतह पर लैंडिंग की प्रक्रिया शुरू की जाएगी।
Plus 15 minutes.
We have come close to 900 seconds after the launch. Currently, the C-25 stage is thrusting. Current relative velocity is 9.29 kilometers per second.
जी हाँ, कुछ ही क्षणों में हम देखेंगे तृतीय चरण LVM3-M4 रॉकेट का चंद्रयान को उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर ले जा रहा है और उद्दिष्ट कक्षा प्राप्त होते ही और उचित अभिवृद्धि प्राप्त होते ही चंद्रयान 3 को अंतक्षेपित कर दिया जाएगा।
Cryo stage thrust cutoff. Satellite injection condition is achieved.
अभी पुष्टि की गई चंद्रयान 3 को प्रमोशन की कक्षा प्राप्त कर ली गई है।
Chandrayaan 3 satellite separated.
चंद्रयान 3 को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट पर।
Chandrayaan 3 has attained a major milestone successfully.
Chandrayaan 3 mission accomplished. Handing over to mission director.
This is mission director. The LVM3-M4 Chandrayaan mission accomplished its precise satellite injection conditions. LVM3-M4 mission is successful. Jai Hind.
The launch has also added a feather in the cap of LVM3 rocket. You can watch the jubilant congratulatory gestures of ISRO scientists in the Mission Control Center.
जी हाँ, चंद्रयान को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है, लेकिन चंद्रयान 3 की यात्रा अभी जारी है। अब इस मिशन के बारे में हम अध्यक्ष महोदय से सुनेंगे और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं।
We sign off. Up next is address by Secretary DOS, Chairman ISRO.
Congratulations, India. Chandrayaan 3 has started its journey towards moon.
Our dear LVM3 has already put Chandrayaan-3 craft into the precise orbit around Earth. 170 by 36,500 kilometers was its intended target orbit, and it is precisely there now. And let us wish all the best for the Chandrayaan-3 craft to make its further orbit racing maneuvers and travel towards moon in the coming days. So let me wish all the very best to Chandrayaan-3 for its further journey towards moon. Before that, let me introduce the team behind this mission, the mission director, Mr. Mohan Kumar, and also the project director of LVM3. And we have also the mission director for the Chandrayaan-3 craft, the project director of Chandrayaan-3, Veera Muthuvel. So over to them, Mohan.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology and Departments of Space and Atomic Energy, Dr. Jitendra Singh, respected Chairman ISRO and Secretary Department of Space, former secretaries of the department, invited dignitaries, respected dignitaries and invitees. I am very happy to report here that the LVM3-M4 vehicle has injected the Chandrayaan-3 satellite to the precise orbit, and once again the vehicle is proved to be the most reliable heavy lift vehicle of Indian Space Research Organization. Congratulations to the teamwork of ISRO family. I would like to appraise three things here. The vehicle systems are in the continuous process of quality improvement, especially in the event of our human rating efforts towards making the systems reliable. Secondly, the payload also, capability of the payload also is improved by mission strategies as well as vehicle engineering approaches. We are in the process of increasing the launch frequency of this vehicle considering the national requirements as well as satellite demands. Here, so many improvements we have incorporated in this vehicle. For example, the S200 nozzle, they are processed exactly as per the human rating standards, enabling us to have 100% NDT, and the inherent pocket erosion characteristics are removed. The L100 stage Vikas engine, mostly it is 100% qualified to be the human rated engine with indigenously developed LET throats, and the pocket, the back wall gas entry also is eliminated, and it is a perfect system. Yes, and CE20 stage also is perfectly, actually, sir.
Good. So we will describe all those details later because of shortage of time.
Yes, sir. I take this opportunity to thank all the mission executives because mission executives for all the supports all along the launch campaign process as well as the launch. Once the launch manifest is released and mission executives are identified, really this is a penance of so many across the ISRO centers, our launch vehicle centers, VSSC, LPSC, IPRC, IASU, SDSC, SHAR, URSC and SAC, along with all our industrial partners, major players to the small-scale industries who supply us with all the deliverables in time, quality products, the suppliers of chemicals, propellant ingredients, suppliers of avionics systems, and our own GOCO facility operators. Actually, the industrial manpower is really our ISRO's virtual manpower. Everybody's efforts went into this, and also the prayers and best wishes of all our seniors, retired executives, everyone's prayers and our own family members. I take this opportunity to pray God Almighty for all the blessings in the form of this success, which was the penance by the ISRO family for last 73 days. And my prayerful pranams for the successful continuous operations of the Chandrayaan spacecraft, for its safe and soft landing on lunar surface and further experiments. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Respected Chairman ISRO, Center Directors, dignitaries and my team Chandrayaan-3. Very happy to note that our Chandrayaan-3 has been injected into an intended orbit with very close orbital parameters. Congratulations and thanks to LVM3 team. And all our spacecraft health parameters are normal, including the power generations in both propulsion module and lander module. Our journey to moon has begun now for the most awaited soft landing. We'll be closely monitoring and controlling the spacecraft from its track Bangalore. Many critical events are lined up, starting from earthbound maneuvers, insertion into the lunar orbit, and separation of lander, and set of deboost maneuvers, and finally the power descent phase for a soft landing. I take this opportunity to thank Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, and all the center directors for entrusting me this opportunity, who have been the motivational and guidance force behind this mission. My special thanks to Chandrayaan-3 project executives, Associate Project Director Kalpana, Deputy Project Directors, Project Managers across the ISRO centers who have provided an excellent support in building the spacecraft. My special thanks to the expert committees for their constant guidance throughout the various stages of the project. I also thank the various work centers and industries who have contributed directly and indirectly to this mission. My special thanks to URSC council members, group directors, deputy directors across the ISRO centers, and looking forward for the soft landing with all your wishes and blessings from the God. Thank you.
We have our Honorable Minister for Space, Minister of State for Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, amongst us during this historic occasion of success of launching of LVM3. So we would like to hear a few words from him. Over to you, sir.
It is indeed a moment of glory for India and a moment of destiny for all of us over here at Sriharikota who are a part of the history in making. Thank you, Team ISRO, for making India proud. And thank you, Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji, for having made this possible by unlocking the gates of Sriharikota and enabling the India's space sector. You would recall, Honorable Prime Minister had very recently said, sky is not the limit. And living by his words, I think the Chandrayaan today has gone beyond the limits of sky to discover the unexplored horizons of the universe beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, this day today, the 14th of July 2023, is also a day of vindication. Vindication of the dream that Vikram Sarabhai saw 6 decades ago. He might have been short of resources, but never short of confidence. And when we see those pictures of a launcher vehicle being carried on the carriage of a bicycle, without any remorse, without any slightest embarrassment, that is because Vikram and his team had faith in themselves, faith in India's potential, faith in India's acumen. And today, here, we are vindicating and we are reiterating India's indigenous capabilities, living up to the ideal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, as Mother India enters into the next 25 years of this Amrit Kal, she pledges to play a leading global role in the emerging world scenario of 21st century. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir. We will also introduce the directors of the centers who have done all those great work of building the rocket, building the scientific instruments for Chandrayaan-3, the Chandrayaan spacecraft itself, and made all those critical systems, and also the agencies who are going to handle the rest of the mission part, the tracking and the ground stations and all those teams are here. So I request the directors of those centers to join. First, Director of Vikram Sarabhai Space Center.
Good afternoon, India. In last 1 year, this is the 10th mission, including the precise landing of the reusable launch vehicle. So with this mission, this is the 7th mission of LVM3, the successful mission. With this, the success rate of LVM3 is 100%. And this is the ideal vehicle for Gaganyaan. Some of the changes that we are incorporating in Gaganyaan, we have implemented here. And the Mark III has crossed the reliability of 0.9 and inching forward. So I take this opportunity to salute the entire ISRO community, especially the VSC community and all launch vehicle centers, industry partners for making the stages, making the sub-assemblies and testing. In fact, this is the 3rd launch of LVM3 in 1 year. You know, the realizing the stages, assembling, testing, and then launching 3 LVM3s in 1 year is a Herculean task. I salute the industry as well as all the ISRO centers for this. And I wish all the very best. We know that when the beginning is good, the ending has to be good. I wish all the very best to the Chandrayaan for its solitary journey through the vastness of space and for making a feather-like soft landing in the 4th week of August. Good luck. Thank you.
Dr. Narayanan, Director LPSC.
Good afternoon to all of you. It is a historical event for Indian space program and a proud moment for all the Indians across the globe on this momentous occasion of the successful launch of the Chandrayaan-3. 3-in-1 spacecraft in the required orbit with the highest level of precision by our heaviest launch vehicle LVM3. After the 2 launches of LVM3 vehicle this year, this vehicle is realized in the record shortest time. Today, once again, all the vehicle systems have performed, demonstrated the 7th successful launch. As you all know, the entire spacecraft community has put wholehearted effort during last 4 years, and we have realized a marvelous, great scientific satellite. For this mission, the entire vehicle performance is as expected, as predicted. In fact, the precision in which the satellite is launched shows the reliability of this vehicle. And we too have 4 liquid propulsion modules, 2 in the launch vehicle. The L110 stage, C25 stage, it has performed extremely well along with all other vehicle systems. We too have 2 more propulsion modules, one for taking the spacecraft to the moon, another one for soft landing. I think it is already well integrated, the system health is very good. Today's success is the culmination of the dedicated, smart and hard work of all the ISRO team members and the work culture of ISRO and the review process what we follow. I am sure all further mission operations will be a grand success and we'll have the successful soft landing. On this occasion, let me congratulate and compliment the members of ISRO team, our family members who have really sacrificed, the partners from industry and academia, and the various review fora. Thank you. Jai Hind.
The Chandrayaan craft was built at the UR Rao Satellite Center, so I request the Director of URSC to speak.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to first thank my colleagues from the Launch Vehicle Center for providing a textbook-like launch for Chandrayaan-3 on its journey towards moon. Thank you very much. And as Director LPSC and Director VSSC mentioned, realizing this kind of launch vehicle, 3rd launch vehicle within a year's time is indeed a Herculean task. And thank you very much for the effort that has been put by all the members of the launch vehicle community and the industry supporting them. Coming to Chandrayaan-3, Mohan was telling that it is a penance. In fact, it is a penance of the Chandrayaan-3 team for the last 4 years, which has come today as an outcome. It is sitting like a brain sitting inside the head of a human being on that mighty vehicle. On top of that, satellite was sitting, and it was such a happy moment to see that satellite getting separated. And our work continues from now for the next 42 days till we reach the lunar orbit and touchdown softly on moon. So we'll speak the rest of the things after the soft landing on top of moon. Till then, thank you very much for all the members of the satellite community and the industry for your support, which has been continuing over several years, and I'm sure will continue in future also. Thank you very much.
Space Applications Center Ahmedabad plays very important role in our scientific instruments and building of the satellites. Over to Director SAC, Nilesh Desai.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, let me compliment Team ISRO for this excellent work, and especially vehicle team as well as the project team. And as we begin this historic journey towards moon, well begun is half done, as it is said. So I'm sure that we'll succeed in our effort and endeavor to land on moon safe and in secured manner with a soft landing after 45 days. So I wish all the best to all the people who have contributed directly or indirectly, and especially to the project team, spacecraft team, as well as my team at Space Applications Center, who has developed sensors and other hazard detection and avoidance system which will help for a secured and safe landing on moon. So once again, I thank all who have contributed in this mission. Thank you.
Director of this center, Satish Dhawan Space Center, is the chairman of the Launch Authorization Board and also realizing the solid motors of this rocket. So over to Director SDSC Shah Rajarajan.
Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, respected Chairman, our mentors and the dignitaries present here, and the entire ISRO family, a very successful launch and hearty congratulations to all the LVM3-M4 and Chandrayaan-3 mission. So, once again, the Fat Boy has done its job and put a very precisely our prestigious lunar mission Chandrayaan-3 in the transfer orbit. And I congratulate the SDSC SHAR team, because throughout this launch, we had many launch campaigns of C-55 and 56. Along with that, we are proud to have this. In spite of the weather conditions here, we have successfully launched LVM3 in the prescribed launch window time between July 12th and 19th. And we had a very good, smooth campaign here, and all the hearty congratulations to the entire launch vehicle team, as well as for the last 2 months for hosting the Chandrayaan-3 team here and carrying out all the tests to make sure that Chandrayaan-3 is also ready for the mission. And I also thank our entire logistics team who handled this huge crowd throughout this campaign period, in particular last 2-3 days. And my sincere thanks to the various Indian industries who are now participating in various aspects of solid motor processing as well as the assembly activities of our launch vehicle to make it successful. And I wish a glorious success in the future to come. And I wish, as mentioned in the last week of August, to have a successful soft landing of Chandrayaan-3 lander on the moon surface and to make history. Once again, thank you. Jai Hind.
I request all center directors to join on the podium. Please come, all of you. Can you lower this? Please come. Please come here. Come.